Thanks for coming aboard to Life in the 1900s newspapers, where we read the real words of old newspapers. Today is the Augusta Herald from Augusta, Georgia in 1928. You know that in the 20s, because the automobile was so popular and the airplane service was taking off, that the train company had to do something to get the passengers to take a ride. So they offered luxury trains. Just look at these beautiful, streamlined, sleek trains. They look like the 20s, don't they? The insides of the trains were decorated with Art Deco as well, and your every need was catered to, whether dining in the dining car or relaxing in your own suite.
Watching the trains come in, watching the trains go out. After I watch the trains come in, I watch all the trains go out.
Advertising posters of the day promised many travel spots and scenic wonders along your route.
I get a burning yearning just to shuffle off to Buffalo. Let me ride the old caboose way back where the crew sits, all the way from Iowa to Massachusetts. Watching the trains come in.
At your ticket, the red cap would help you with your luggage.
What do I do when the trains come in? Well, I watch all the trains go out. When the train...
Then you would retire to the dining car to eat your food in relaxation, unless, of course, you were like this man.
Hello, Sonny. What's your name? Beat it, will you? Beat it.
Come along, Wilbur.
The traveling businessmen on the train would bring their newspaper so they could relax in comfort and read about the daily news. Unless you were this person.
Thanks. What's the idea? Red Cross. Well, I'm not through with that yet. Oh. Beg your pardon.
Today's issue is dated February 16th, 1928.
Watching the trains come in, watching the trains go out.
Owl stops train, Moscow. As the Volga-Leningrad Express sped along at 50 miles an hour, it came to a sudden stop. The conductor hurried forward to investigate. He found that an owl had perched on the locomotive and in desperation had clutched the cock of the air brake, letting out the air and stopping the train. The owl was captured alive and the train proceeded. How I Keep My Figure by Marion Davies. Want to know what my favorite exercise is for keeping lithe and gracefully slender is? Rope skipping. I have so much fun doing this that it is a pleasure rather than a duty and makes me feel like a kid again. Man bites dog. Real news story breaks at last. Herman J. Glucose, 45, bit a large brown Airedale on Peffer Street this afternoon. The scene was witnessed by Officer George Carburn, who took Glucose in custody. Asked why he bit the Airedale, he said, "I always heard that if a dog bit a man, it wasn't news. But if a man bit a dog, that was news. I wanted to get my name in the paper." Officer Carburn then asked Herman if he smoked Old Gold cigarettes. Herman said no. Then the officer said, "Why didn't you make that statement in the first place? To hear of someone not smoking Old Golds is news."
Yes, Old Gold. The cigarette with nearly 200 years of tobacco know-how behind it. Made by tobacco men, not medicine men. Smoother, milder, tastier, Old Gold cigarette.
Bark dresses are in style. Honestly, the new wooden kimonos are too dear for words or something like that. Here's one anyway, worn by Miss Doris Mosher of Los Angeles. It is tapa cloth, which is made by soaking the bark of trees in water, then laying it on a rock and beating it with stones until it becomes a fiber. The product is Hawaiian. A Los Angeles man is building a pilotless airplane. Next summer, he says, this plane will fly from Los Angeles to New York without an occupant. It will be controlled by radio, operated from a second plane flying a half-mile behind. Barbs. The flyers, Costas and Labrix, who flew to us all the way from France, have been sadly neglected. We haven't even seen their names in a cigarette ad. It does seem as if romance were dying out swiftly. The other day in Paris, two upper-class Frenchmen got into an argument that could only be settled on the field of honor. One challenged the other to a duel. But the weapons, all hearken! The Frenchmen fought not with swords, not even with pistols, but with boxing gloves. They fought, we read, 5 rounds before it was decided that honor was satisfied. Romance is dead. All that remains is to open D'Artagnan's grave and see if he hasn't turned over. Now showing at the Majeska. See this glowing romance of flashing swords and ardent hearts in the days when Louisiana was young. 3 great stars in a production of unforgettable Fitzmaurice beauty, The Love Mart, starring Billie Dove, Gilbert Roland, and Noah Berry. Winter visitors are urged not to carry rice birds away with them, according to H.A. Norrell, Richmond County Game Warden. Mr. Norrell says that a winter visitor leaving Augusta carried some of the rice birds to New York, and that he was arrested upon arrival in that city. The birds are eatable, but it is against the federal and state laws to carry them out of the state, says Dr. Norrell. Lenora Best, 925 Broad Street, sustained painful lacerations about the head when she was accidentally struck by an automobile driven by T.W. Tinley near the south side of the Butte Memorial Bridge Tuesday night about 8 o'clock. According to information received from the hospital, her injuries are not believed to be serious, and it is expected that she will be released in a few days. Did you know that in the 1920s, it was popular for some people to jump in front of automobiles to sue and collect insurance money? Attempt to set new speed mark for automobiles, Daytona Beach, Florida. Preliminary maneuvers in a three-cornered assault on the world speed record for automobiles, 203.7 miles per hour, were underway Wednesday as three motorcars dedicated to tremendous speed underwent final tunings for their separate attempts. One of the contestants was Frank Lockhart from Indianapolis with his small Stutz Black Hawk Special. Second entry was from Malcolm Campbell of London with his 900 horsepower British Air Service motor, and the third entry was J.M. White of Philadelphia, relying on Titanic power alone in his effort, expecting his 36-cylinder motor to make up for an almost total lack of streamlined design. His car has 3 drive shafts direct to the rear axle, no clutch, transmission or reverse gear, and has only one speed, forward.